Okay, so let's talk about why Black History Month is also important in Germany. Why it's important to talk about black people in Germany, because actually black people have been living in Germany for more than 400 years now. So here generations over generations who have lived here and are part of the society, and who maybe cannot even trace back some of them, where they descended from, because they are Germans as well. We're all Germans, um, no matter what we look like, because it has become a very multinational society, and um, it is important to have this conversation, because till that day, personally, a lot of black Germans are asked where they really come from on a daily basis, or they're very much alienated from the society.
Every second time you're asked, where do you come from? Or when are you going back? You've been born here, my children have been born here. They don't know any other home, they only know Germany. So, it's like they do not want to get used to being multicultural, and they do not want to get used to, like they are children who don't look white and they're German. So it's also about acceptance that this is part of the world. You can't talk about globalization and think about a part of people away, but you want their sugar and their coffee and their chocolate or their cacao, but you don't want the people. When you talk about history or blacks in Germany, we've not been considered as humans. We've actually been treated like animals. Can you imagine exhibiting kids in zoos? Mm-hmm. When you just think about the history of the way they treated black people, for sure. And not just that, our whole history, our artwork, our ancestors, let's say, I would call them gravestones, because these people have no idea what they stole. They call it art, we call it our history. So we can still argue about that. German, you're welcome to do so. I mean, it's such a twisted history and narrative of what even our goods are. So when we come to talk about history and not just black Africa and the stolen goods, it's so much we have to deal with. And at the moment, Germany is actually trying to go through its past history, but still it's still Eurocentric. It's like they're not listening to us. They are actually defining what we're supposed to be understanding. And I think it's time that the dots are connected and the tables are reset, because you cannot always be the part or the people who are defining what we are and what our past is and what our history is, and also the way we think. When we talk about history, it's not just black, it's that past, and this is the present and the future. So when we talk about blacks in Germany, it's not like we're trying to look for a face or to look for a position. We are already here, so we are actually designing life together. We are creating together. We're not like here to ask for permission.
Yeah.
Why does everybody think we should be going back somewhere?
Definitely. I don't think it's in any way possible to talk about black people in Germany without mentioning the history, because there has been a big lag in educating that. I mean, I've gone to school here and there's been never any educative work done about what black people had lived and gone through in history here. And how you said, Germany was one of the first countries which, that really exhibited humans in zoos, had them dressed naked or in a tribal way, and people went there and exploited the people, could even touch them. They were in caves with animals, and that was not that long ago. And then also I think this history is so much connected to what's happening now. So the global south is still cuffed to the global north in a sense due to capitalism. There's still exploitation happening, and how you said, also movement of migration is kind of only allowed in one direction. and people who are coming, migrating, or even who just want to travel to Germany, for example, who come or have a passport of a country in Africa, let's say, they are not even permitted to enter the country because they're seen as a threat. And it's like small things like that that are really institutionalized and that are like carved into the system, which are not oftentimes visible to us. I think it's important to talk about Theodor Michael, who's he's a big fighter for the rights of Black people, and yeah, we're also having an intergenerational conversation now, and yes. He still says a lot of things have changed, but there's so much more that has to be done, and it's people like him who have to be, who we have to listen to, who we have to learn about. And there are several other Afro-Germans who played a significant role to change the situation for Black people, but also who have inspired us. Football players, yes. Politicians. Yeah.
And it's not just, we don't only play football.
No.
I mean, you don't decorate us like, when you just need players like those Christmas, balls you put on the Christmas tree, and when it's done, you just put them back in the basement. We are here to stay, and we are here to design our lives. And I think when you talk about role models, you can also talk about, you mentioned Audre Lorde coming to Germany to give these women a face when she woke these Afro-German women and told them, what are you doing? She just said to them, get that voice being heard. They had always been hiding, and she's the one who told these women, get out of there and show yourself. You are okay and you are enough. And this year, actually, we've got about 5 people of color who made it to the parliament. So we're coming. Yeah. So things are happening, and it's just the beginning. We've still got a long way to go.
Yeah, and just to close everything off, I think it's important to recognize that we're more than that one collective. We're all individuals with our talents, with our weaknesses, with our strength, and we are meant to be recognized in this world. We are meant to be seen, and we should see ourselves for who we are. And that's what Black History Month is about. Also in Germany, we are part of Germany. We are Germans. We are Black, and we're happy to be that. And we're fighting for demolishing and for like recreating and for universifying and being more like reflective and living in a world that is more attentive of us and also of empowering each other.
We don't want to talk about Black History Month just in February. We want it to be normal. We want shared history. And I think February gives us the moments where we can emphasize on that and demand it and claim it. And I think it's so much important to invite people who've always been talking to listen. In closing.
Yes.